of the devil, and it shall appear.
Alright friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related, and we give you an overview of our new home. We now own the city of Havalvik on the island, the Nord Island here. We took this last episode and manipulated the other nobles in our kingdom to voting us for this beautiful city. Now the action's been sort of hot and heavy here between the three different kingdoms we've been at war with. Right now, it's just Vlandia. We've been at war with Sturgia on and off, Vlandia, and Kazate as well. We have peace with Kazate and the Sturgeons, at least temporarily. So we're going to apply all of our brute Nord force against these Vlandians. And we're going to boot them off the island. In today's episode, we're going to do castle siege here of Harakshus Castle. Harakshus Castle. I'm getting pronunciation tips, but you know, I'm stuck with that Seattle drawl here. We'll do the very best we can. And we're going to continue to talk about siege assault, and then we're going to make an assault on the Vlandian homeland, unless all of a sudden Vlandian forces storm our location here. Now we want this perk, but I don't think, yeah, we're not clan tier 5 yet, so I'm going to save the influence very soon, or at least when we get to clan tier 5, maybe that won't be super soon. We will have that extra troops in our army. We'll continue to talk about policies. Right now, I'm not going to do too much policies because our influence is still not at a huge high level. Also, the loyalty is fixed. You note the militia, 500 militia at Havalvik. So we're in good shape as far as troops, even with a modest garrison. There's enough forces there to deter the enemy from attacking, and if they do attack, we'll have days to respond before they can subdue the defenders. If you're wondering what the heck we're doing here, of course, anytime the enemy has your castles or cities, go to their towns, right, or their villages. Tell them, give us your sons. It's one of the best ways to fill out an army at this stage. Troops are very dear, right? Every single castle or the main city we take, we're going to have to leave a garrison. And of course, your vassals will still leave troops there whether or not you want them to. The only way you can get around that is to disband them before the siege. Not a very good option. Or to have all of the units on your main character, and of course we would have a lot of deserters. I am going to take and put as many good troops on our primary character as possible, right? Glaron Heavyhand, because you don't have to put any troops in the garrison. Your nobles, right? Your clan companions that are part of your kingdom that have an army within your own army, they will happily donate all of your good troops. That's an exaggeration. They will donate a lot of your good troops to the castle defenders, and there's a chance that we get voted for this, but I think the odds are unlikely, and I'll explain in a second some of the mechanics of that. Make sure we don't have any critical upgrades we can make here. Glaron Heavyhand, level 28, right? This guy's come a long ways in about 7-8 hours of gameplay. Now we're going to build, let's do 3. We're going to build the traditional armament here because I'm trying to minimize losses. There is a chance we get this castle, and more importantly, we just don't want to suffer a Pyrrhic victory here. Any kind of a castle assault, you know, where you don't have a huge advantage, you can suffer 200-300 losses, especially to fire catapults, and I don't want to do that. It'll just set us back a lot of time. Time is really the only thing we're dealing with here. And then the vassal stage, time is not that important. So you don't have to do this, but I'm trying to show guys the most efficient way to play Bannerlord. Maybe it's not the most efficient, but I think it's pretty close to the most efficient. We will build both the trebuchets at the same time. The fire catapult's on its way. We're going to continue to fire our fire catapult. It's something I've grown accustomed to doing. There are many benefits about it. We might get voted for Ustakol Castle as well. There are many benefits of firing the fire catapult. One of the main ones, though, is you don't get killed, right? A lot of times when I was less experienced, I would charge up the ladders or be right there in the front with my troops. And this is where you want to assault, right? They have no siege weapons. We're in good shape here. Note I'm keeping those prisoners, right? We've got 27 prisoners. We'll be saving them for a big battle. This isn't it. But it's also It's very beneficial just to sit on your fire catapult and rain down hell on the enemy from safety while your troops take the blunt of the enemy damage, and then of course you can run up at some point and help. Our divisions keep getting mixed. Tailworlds is aware of this bug, and evidently they're trying to fix it and having some difficulties. So your units being reset, your captains being reset. I have some guys writing in regularly and saying this is really bothering them. I would just say hang tight, right? Tailworlds is clearly listening based on some of the changes they have made already. It's pretty clear that they're listening at least to the community, or maybe even directly to me, to us, right? Because it's us. You guys send stuff to me, I send stuff to them, and they've made a number of changes that are suspiciously similar to what we've asked for, right? I can't claim all the credit. There's other guys that are reporting it, but man, I mean, the improvement to heavy cavalry, the nerfs to fiend champions, cons guards, the capability of your units to continue moving after the battle, the UI changes to console players. We're feeling a lot of love these days from Tailworlds, and that is a very good place to be, right? When you're speaking directly to the game makers themselves. They've shown a very proactive and, I must say, enlightened approach to Bannerlord, right? A lot of times they get flack. The community loves to complain. I think complaining is human nature, and rightly so. There's some problems with Bannerlord. We all want it to be the best game possible, but boy, have they been making great improvements. So I would clap my hands if I wasn't busy killing Levy crossbowmen here. I will just tip of the cap to Tailworlds and the developers. They have done a great job of listening, and hopefully they continue to at least keep one ear open. Damn. All right, so here's what we can do. We're sending troops up. We're not going to spend a huge amount of time on this siege because it's going to be an easy siege. But you can tell your troops to stop, and that'll still keep the enemy defending the walls. It sort of bugs the enemy out almost, and that'll leave 30 to 100 troops basically vulnerable to our fire catapult. We want to avoid melting all your precious Huskarl as you send them up, right? It's important. I mean, we're hitting a few. Fortunately, your higher level units do have a much higher survivability rate. They get injured more and killed less often, especially if you have good medicine skills. So we're killing a Huskarl every single fireball, but we're also killing 4, 5, 6 enemies. And I'm homing in, right? We should pretty soon get a shot like that, right? Where we killed 30 or 40 troops in one shebang, and that'll leave a dent, right? That, to quote Waterworld, that made a hole. And those guys now can start to charge. I'm going to join them. I almost smoked some more, in fact. Before we kill more of our own troops, let's just get up here and apply some brute force. It's another beautiful scene. And it kind of seems like that left side is handled. How about we go on the right side here, right? We'll do a little misdirection with the enemy, assault them hard on the left, and then make another push on the right here. These guys aren't using the ladders. They're being naughty, and so we can help them get some troops up here. This siege is not a threatening siege, but I promise you we will have some gnarly siege assault as part of this campaign. We're going to push the envelope. We're going to attack cities in siege where we're outnumbered 2 to 1, right? Which is normally not a thing. That's not advisable, but we're going to try to show you fellas how you can still do that with tactics. And we might be able to make it look easy. We'll see. These Nords look beastly. And then, of course, you have Glaron Heavyhand, which is Marvel Comics has already called and asked for the rights to make a movie about Glaron Heavyhand. We're negotiating as we speak. My current offer is $300 million, and they are countered offered with $1,000. So we're a little ways apart, but hopefully we can come together. I would love to, sell it to Marvel. You ask for $300 million, and then you settle for $50,000. We'll see what they say. And we got little bootlicker Nords here. Now, these are our guys, right? It's kind of frustrating. They fight you, but this is the nature of militia, right? Your civilians back in this era, they were loyal to whoever was in charge of the city a lot of times because they didn't want to get killed, right? If they didn't fight for the Vlandians here, there would be trouble. There would be executions or something worse. Roast them on fire and shit like that. So we're just going to be able to carve our way through. There's some guys at the gate. They still have a bit of a defense here. But let me talk about the castle priority. We'll continue to sort of finish that point from a few minutes ago. Fief assignment, Fief voting, right? You got to get voted to the semifinals, which is where they have 3 different kingdoms, clans that get considered for a fief, right? With the vote. If you're not on there, obviously you can't get it. Just like I'm not on the current presidential ballot. you know, you guys can't vote for me, even though clearly I would be a good presidential candidate, right? We could behead some fucking disloyal people, and there'd be capital punishment for fucking disobedience and all kinds of other tyrannical shit. Vote for me. But in this case, I don't think we're going to get the castle, and let me tell you why. In addition to my caffeinated ramble here, first, we already have a city. That's a factor. Basically, the AI is no longer taking pity on us because we have a home. We're not a homeless guy anymore. In fact, we have a prominent home. Second, we're not a super rich, powerful clan. There's something to that. If you have a huge clan with lots of troops and lots of probably power on the power meter, so to speak, right? Units, captains all over the place, you're more likely to get fiefs. Clan tier is another element. Of course, we're clan tier 3 or 4, so that's probably neutral. But the biggest one, and the reason why I don't think we're going to get this castle, is because the Nords are getting their shit pushed in, and we have a lot of homeless lords. Just like they took mercy on us and gave us Valvik, just like that was one of the considerations because we didn't have a fief at all. There were probably Nord lords. I think there's 10, 12 clans in the Nord Kingdom that don't have a fief at all. So we're not going to get voted over them to get 2. There's a little bit of communism and Bannerlord, and you can just call it balancing. So, yeah, we're not on. Oh wait, no, this isn't it. This is just a Stockwell Castle. So we're not on a Stockwell Castle, and I presume we will not be on whatever the fuck this castle's called, Haraxius. I've had some guys try to help me with that, and I still can't do it. Aluminium foil, right? Sometimes you get lost in translation here. So we got worthless trade agreements firing off left and right. I won't say they're worthless, right? Trade agreements help you with tariffs and barter or something like that. Those are not game mechanics that I'm expert at. That's why you don't hear me talking about it. That's why you don't see me showing you a lot about trade mechanics and making caravans and shit like that. We will talk about workshops. We'll do a little bit of workshops. I'm a Flesson 19 prodigy, right? We've studied the guys who've gotten deep into the weeds on it. I understand the basics of it. Let's see here. It's time to go raid some shit, right? Where we took this city so that we could invade and raid all up and down the coast. And I think what we're going to want to do here is leave our relatively less experienced Nords home and take our best troops. So I'm just going to do this while I continue that narrative point. What I have heard is that workshops are definitively more profitable. So at some point or other, when we're a little bit more cash flush, we will start buying workshops. Probably at this city, maybe another city or two that looks relatively safe. I'll talk about the financial part of Bannerlord. It's been said many times, right, by very smart people about warfare. It's not the longest sword that wins, and this is a direct quote. It's the longest purse, and what they're referring to, of course, is not a sword fight, but warfare. The key to war is basically money. If you have a lot of money, you can keep on buying mercenaries. You can pay for lots of troops. You can pay for technological upgrades. If you don't, you lose. That's basically the history lesson behind money. Speaking of money, we're going to sell a bunch of goods here. We're getting kind of low on goods, which is good, actually, because we're about to go raiding, so we're about to restock our goods. But also that means we're going to be lightly encumbered. You can see the 2 different numbers of our encumbrance there. Those are important, right? If you're too encumbered on the ocean, you get chased down by an armada and you can't get away, right? You're literally dumping all your shit overboard. Now, showing you this as well, right? The stash is pretty full. We've got about 4,000 food here. And we could talk about that as we... I don't think we need to pour more money onto the city. The city's building a masonry building, and that is so that the buildings will get built faster. That should be one of the first buildings you're building, of course, because you want to be able to build other buildings, right? Don't build the building that helps you build other buildings fast, right? You guys got all that building? Build a masonry place first, right? So that way there's a bunch of guys trained at fucking putting stones and logs down to build all your buildings. Just a few days of sort of stalling here while we wait for our ship to come to port. I don't know where our ships go. Right? Our ship, I swore we got off the boat right there, and I don't see the boat. So I just don't understand what's happening with our ships. There's some bugs still. There are clearly some bugs still. Now, I want more ships, right? In fact, I want another Drakkar. This is another reason I want to save money. 80,000. But it's a really fast longboat, right? And Red Fury, what a great name to add this boat to our growing armada. We have 4 boats now, but I think there's an argument to sell one, right? We've got 2 of the huge boats. We've got 1 of the medium-sized longboats, and then 1 small boat. I guess we could see how it goes. We'll suffer a little bit of a, what's it called? Basically a little, we're over our ship limit, right? When you have just your main character, your limit is 3. So we're going to move a little bit slower. Do some upgrades on the Red Fury. I think we're still going to keep the Face Fister as our flagship, but now we have 2 boats that effectively could be flagships, and we're going to be able to put a lot of Nords on here. We're hoping, right, to have that big sea battle in previous campaigns. We've had a few good battles, but nothing that I was really excited about, right? I had a 400 against 500 out in the ocean, and the enemy just got melted, something fierce. Hopefully we can fight a large fleet somewhere, maybe a Vlandian fleet, right? Something reasonably sized. I guess I'm willing to take on about, I guess 1,000. Twice our size would be acceptable. Anything more than 1,000, and I'm probably gonna beat feet and run. Now we've got company here, right? We've got another Nord army raiding, right? So this is great news, and we're gonna keep an eye out, obviously, to the castle and city here. If they get sieged, we'll just turn around. We've got satellite data, and indeed, we don't get the castle as well. So 0 for 2 in the castle voting. The good news, though, is that we're setting up so that we can get the next fief on the mainland, right? That's what my real goal is to take Rovalt or Turby Castle or even Ostacan. And we may get voted for that because at this stage, right, we're starting to move up the ranks. And also, of course, if we take Turby Castle, that's another castle that gets given out to one lord. You can basically think about it like if there's sandwiches, right? There's a bunch of sandwiches on the table and you and your 7 hungry brothers come up to the table. If there's 10 sandwiches, or if there's 8 sandwiches, the limit is 1, right? But if there's 10, the 2 biggest brothers get an extra sandwich. And if there's 16 sandwiches, everybody gets 2, right? Except that the biggest brother eats 3 and then stares right at the smallest brother with eye contact while he devours it the whole time. The point, though, is that once we get a set amount of fiefs, we're going to be much more likely to get voted for a second one. Now that's tempting, right? That's another huge siege defense that we should at least explore. It's days away. 4.7. We can't call people. 1,500. It's a huge force there. You know, I don't really want to get inside. We're going to try to avoid redundancy, but we could attack them outside. We're definitely going to try some audacious land battles here. So let's go explore, right? If they start getting really beat up here, this guy's busy in the south. Let's go take a peek here at the Stockholm Castle. Oh shit. Never mind. They're going to take it. We won't even get there in time. All right, now we're going to use that information, right? There's an army of 1,500. They're sieging down a castle. They will be 1,300, maybe 1,100 after they're done, right? They're going to leave a garrison. They're going to suffer some losses. Where do you think they're coming next, right? Their castle here is under siege. They're coming here. It's like 100%. So we'll do a little prognosticating. I have fun doing this because I don't mind being wrong. Let's say autumn 17, we see a Vlandian force come to the north shore here, right? Basically trying to kill these Vlandians. And if that happens and we're nearby, we may intervene, right? We may join the battle. We shall see how it plays out. Increased morale. Where's increased morale? Increased morale. Here we go. Now we're going to continue doing what I've talked about before. We're going to go to every single village. Give us your troops, right? Now I know there's stinky Vlandians. They literally stink. These guys all have a smell of rotting sewer. It's just how Vlandians smell. Imperials smell like onions, right? They smell like onions that have been left out too long, and Vlandians smell like hydrogen sulfide, H2S for you chemistry nerds. And it's the smell of decomposing organic material. But we'll take them in our army, right? We're going to go through every single village. Give us your troops. And I'm just going to spread these around to our companions and even our non-companions, these other Nord armies that are with us, because the bottom line is this gives us more troops. These guys don't actually do much on the battlefield, right? They got a sickle and a hatchet. There's a couple benefits, though. First, we can send them in, and they will get EXP, and some of them will level up, right? In battles, they will get stronger. All these armies are so far away, I'm not even going to call them. 5 days, 6 days, it'll take them forever to get here. The other thing, though, is that the amount of troops that you enter on the battlefield, say you're up against a force of 1,200, right? And we have 600, you get 1/3 of the units on the field. It's to a ratio of the total amount of troops between your two armies. So if it's 600 and 600, you get, you know, exactly half. If it's 600 against 1800, you get a quarter, right? Which is the worst you can be, is outnumbered 750 to 250. And they took Ostokal Castle, so we'll see. Autumn 17, I'm telling you, there's a boat coming through here. But the other benefit, so of picking up these recruits, is it gets your number closer to the enemy if you're outnumbered. Say they have 1,200, and we pick up 200 recruits, right? Now it's 800 versus 1,200, and instead of us having 333 troops on the battlefield at the beginning, we have like 380, right? We have, what would that be? If 800, 1,200, 40%, right? We'd have 400, right? So an extra 67 or whatever, yeah, 67 troops. Spread some of these troops around. So this is very valuable. Yeah, I know it says 60 Vlandian recruits. Don't forget though, too, if we take Tirby Castle, or if we take, say we siege Ostakan, we could chuck them right in the garrison. And anybody who's been beat to death by peasants know that they can kill you. It just takes a bunch of them. Okay, so Tirby Castle's ours. We may get voted for that, right? We're, like I said, we're starting to move up. This guy looks like he's going to set sail. And I wonder, right? The Vlandians might be right here, so I'm going to follow this guy in case he gets ambushed. My spidey senses, I think we still have a day or two before we see the Vlandians, but maybe not, right? We'll see. Away he goes. Oh shit! Look at, running from Lucan, and well, they're early. Autumn 15, here they are, right? This is the Vlandian force, probably. I don't know for sure, but probably that sieged Ostokal Castle, and they are here, right next to our fleet. You can picture them. Just like the Battanians, they're searching the ground and they're like, there are Nords here. Summon the hordes. So we're running. I'm going to run anytime we're outnumbered 2-1, worse than 2-1. They've got a bunch of good troops too, Banner Knights. No reason for us to engage here. In fact, you know what they're probably going to do? They're going to siege. And we could defend it, but Tirby Castle, especially Tier 1, is a no-no. Do not defend Tirby Castle at Tier 1. Whereas, oh shit, they were coming after us for a second. Tirby Castle at Tier 1 is awful, whereas Varon Castle is really good. Varon Castle at Tier 1, there are some castles that are impossible to defend at Tier 1. Now, what the fuck setting do we have here? It's like a haunted house. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just peeking at some local villages. I'm always looking for a playground to destroy our foe. There's a river, there's a choke point, there's a valley there. That's interesting. We'll tuck that away in our mental notebook for a later tactical opportunity. So they're sieging, right? To hell with them, right? Let's have a siege contest. I said we were going to try this 6:30. They might attack us afterwards. It's going to be close. We're going to have a race here. We're going to siege Ostakan. They may leave, too. They may just say to hell with sieging and come attack us. We'll see how this works. If they do, we'll have a interesting decision to make. They would have probably already done it, though, and I don't see them coming. In fact, we can actually see their army. It's kind of funny. We're just sitting a couple hundred kilometers or a couple kilometers apart, just watching each other siege each other's castles. But we'll trade a city for a castle, right? Especially since we're probably not going to continue to get voted for locations, right? We'll trade up, and there's a small chance that we get a city. Now, I don't know if being in the siege that actually takes the city has, leading the siege that gets a city actually affects the voting. I don't know if anybody's tested the system that deep or asked a developer. I don't really care. We know 3 or 4 of the key variables, and it works pretty reliably. And I don't need to know every single interior component of Bannerlord anyway, so I don't want to kill the magic. And they're winning. Damn, they're winning the siege race. We don't even have our first. Let's see. They should be under 1,000 after they drop a garrison. Damn, they took it quick. All right, well, we got a problem here. Let's see. Our boats we're cut off from our boats too, so let's see what they look like. If they loom up with 1,500 here, we're gonna flee. And what are they doing? Oh shit! You know what they're doing? They're going down to the water. We got a naval battle. They're coming for a naval battle with a bunch of troops, and you know what? We accept. I'm very excited to fight you in the water, Vlandia. why don't you go ahead and dismount all your horses and attack our naval blockade. If you're not aware of this function, this is part of the game. You can attack a land force from the water, and they're forced to either give up the siege. Look at this, defend the blockade or lift it. And lift it means we just leave the siege. So we're badly outnumbered, man. That power bar, that looks bad. But we're the Nords, right? So we welcome this shit, right? They're challenging us on the water. This is our homeland. We accept, right? We're going in. We're beckoning like the character in the Matrix, right? We're beckoning, saying, "Come get some." And this is rad. We've got 8 boats because we're commanding a full army. I'm not sure how we get 8. I thought you only get 8 if you have the right perks. We don't have the right perks. Maybe some of the armies that are in our army have 8 perks. So we've got all these boats. We want to make sure that we have big boats, right? If we have, this will give us more troops. So we'll just change those out. If we have any big boats, you want to make sure that you're 3254. I don't see any other long boats. The pictures are terrible on the top there. I can't tell what any of those boats are. They all look the same. I guess they look very slightly different. They need to fix that. Here's our mothership, right? And we were just talking about it, right? The Face Fister. We're going to put a mixed division on the Face Fister. We're going to be the skirmish boat. We're going to be the assault force once we send in the meat cleavers. Let's do... We have 8 boats. Man, this is my first opportunity to really dive into the tactics of a big shipboard battle. I'm fucking excited. We've got 8 boats to play with. I'm fully in charge of everything here too. So, man, I'm getting fucking, my toes are curling. We got good captains. We've got good troops too. We've got a nice mix of ranged units and huskarls. We've got some decent lords here that are with us, Nord lords. Let's do 4 archer boats, 3 infantry boats, right? Our biggest 4 boats will be infantry boats, and then our quick little light boats will be archer boats that we will have like little bees, little fighter. Oops, sorry about it. My UI is making it do weird things. I'm trying to inspect these boats to make sure that archers are there. This should be just solid troops. I want to see stellar troops all the way through. That looks pretty good. How come there's peasants on there? Let's reset that shit. That looks better. Now I see gleaming armor up and down the... We're not taking any peasants. You guys can have the recruits. The 2nd division. They got some lower level units, but it's pretty good overall. And it's a huge ship, right? We just picked up that ship, the Red Fury. And man, the paint's not even dry. And we're sending it into battle already. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is fucking great. It's too bad it's not a raging lightning storm. But on the flip side, this will be easier for you guys to see what's going on here. And, of course, easier to see all my mistakes when I inevitably make some here. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Those guys charge, basically charge, right? The old F1, F3, we're going to drag these other archer boats and try to position them around the margins of the battle to shoot the enemy, right? We're going to... It's sort of, you know, a similar battlefield tactic that we would do a kill box or something like that. And I'm getting a little tiny glitches. I don't know if you saw that. My units froze and then they started rowing 300 miles an hour. The system might be, and I don't think it's our system, but it's possible that we're pushing the game engine to its maximum capacity. This is a huge naval battle. It's hundreds against hundreds. It's 16 boats. And I got to turn into the wind here. We should actually probably put the sail up. Get over to that wind. I can't really hit the green. Of course, what we're trying to do here is distract, right? Let's talk tactics. What I want to do here is blow right in front of those allied ships with our quick little archer boats, while the other boats push to their left, or our left. What I'm trying to do here is divert. I want the enemy attacking us. It looks like they have a couple huge ships, and what I want to do is zip right in front of them. We're turning towards the wind, so we'll be able to hit the jets here in about 20 seconds. And then I'm basically hoping to buzz the front of them, shoot them full of arrows from the front of our boat, and then, of course, meet up with the other boats on the other side, destroy those targets, drag the archers with us. Do you get all that? I know it's a lot. In fact, let's send the archers around. Let's just send them behind. Oh, shit. Are those Drummonds? I hope they don't. Oh, shit. We're getting hit by fucking artillery or something. A ballista, maybe? Fuck. Well, I didn't anticipate this. We got to get to the other side of them, right? They only have it in the front, so we got to get around the corner. Fortunately, we're gonna. We've got We've got the wind gauge now. They're going the wrong direction. They're much slower and less navigable than us. So it's not a disaster, but that was working on a disaster. Thank God they couldn't ram us or fire catapult us and set our shit on fire. But look at this setup now. We can drag archers over here. We've completely isolated these 2 boats, 3 boats. And their big boats are going to take forever to turn around, right? They're going to be like the Titanic out there trying to turn. Let's kill these guys quickly here while their big boats try to move into position. We've got these boats fucked. We're coming up on their flank while they're battling on the other side. Rake them, archers. I can throw some throwing axes in here. It's fucking there's seasoned seafarers or whatever those are. There's Vlandian sharpshooters, and we are smoking these guys from behind. that sword sister, you can see her grab her back after I drilled her in her scapula. She's like, damn, that hurts. They got little archers here that we're drilling. All right, now we gotta go. We don't want these big boats catching up with us. You know what they're doing? They're chasing our quick little archer boats. Perfect. The deck is crowded. We might even need some guys to die here before I feel comfortable moving around. But let's, we didn't grapple, so we should be able to go, boys. Okay, row. I've almost got some wind, too. I'm trying to pull our archers away from the enemy here so that they're basically distracted, right? While they're chasing our little archer boats, we can destroy the rest of the troops here. Now, I gotta turn. These 2 boats are engaging. They kind of look like they're sitting there. I told you bitches to charge. I think their big boat is tied up. That's why it's not moving. But that's good, right? That's the Red Fury. Those guys are getting their fury on, right? And there's 89 of them, and there's only 2 defenders left. So the Red Fury has wrecked some shop. It's got its first kill. I think that's what's happening there. Now it's down to 85. And they're chasing the shit out of our archer boats, but they should be fast, right? These guys should be able to navigate the fuck out of there. And no matter what, it's not going to matter, because I'm dragging in another boat, and we're going to head towards these other Vlandian boats and put our boot on their neck. They got 3 boats, 4 boats, 42. All right, we're coming close to the wind, but this whole battle, the enemies had the wind gauge. I don't know if you noticed. I don't think I mentioned it, but we were downwind. It's not a good place to be, but we've made the best of it. 16-4. Those guys are destroyed. Move, archer boats. 32. All right, those guys are at range. They can stop right there and shoot. Let's pull up next to this huge. I think the Drummond's on the other side, but there's a big ship right here that we're going to attack, right? We're just going to pull up broadside. It's attacking our troops on the other side. So we can, again, support, flank, shell with ammo, and then I think we'll try to swing around, catch the wind, and destroy the other ship, right? You know what they say, though, about best laid plans? Mike Tyson? Everybody's got a plan until they're punched in the face. Second boat's following us. These guys are going to, like, hit us. Don't hit us, dudes. Fuck. Well, we got a beautiful angle here, even though it's a really tall boat. I don't know if we can get good line of sight here. Their boat is tilted, I think, because they're boarded. Shoot them. I'm trying to just hold it still here so our guys can rake. A couple of these boats seem like they're asleep at the helm. Get in there and charge, you bitches. Oh, shit. The obligatory friendly fire. I am exceptional at friendly fire. There's almost no Bannerlord out there. Nobody on YouTube kills their own troops more effectively than I. I think that title is mine. Look at this, though. We've got this Drummond pinched. The Vlandians are all spread out on the boats they're fighting, and we've got ourselves a battle royale here. We're going to pull up on this side of this big Drummond and fucking board this bitch. We're spraying them with arrows. I'm not in a huge hurry. The skirmishers are working. And you know what? You guys lost the power bar. I haven't done this to you guys yet, but I'll have to remind myself. I'm just going to remove it. This battle is close. It's interesting. You're not going to see the power bar this battle if you've been looking for it. I do that with after editing. And we have kind of a shitty angle here. I don't know if the wind... oh, shit. They're trying to board us. Oh, shit. There's another boat coming on our left, too. It's blocked right now, but that ship's going to be over here. Let's get archer support on our flank. Those guys are going to be coming soon. So we got to kill here as fast as we can because we're going to get flanked. I think that other Vlandian boat's going to come up on our left. our port for you naval guys. There's more Vlandians in front of us here. There's a Lord. We've got them bottled up pretty well, but they've got some tough units. They got banner knights and shit in there. There's sharpshooters over there. Damn, I just missed. We got a lot of Nords here. And this is where we excel, right? This is fucking what the Nords are all about. Fighting fucking banner knights on a rope bridge. This is fucking our territory. There's a lot of them, but we're making them pay. Oh shit. That did a lot of damage. Damn. 48 to the head. So much for elite armor. Shit. Where are these archer boats? I keep telling them to get over here. Oh, motherfucker. They are turning too. Alright, fuck. That's intimidating. We're going to have to divide our forces here. We've got a lot of troops. They're boarding. Look at this shit. They're pulling up. They slammed into our boat. Come get some. I'll be the port division here. Where's that archer boat? You guys are taking forever. I don't know if I'm using the wrong commands or what. I'm the only guy over here. We're going to have to call our troops to me here. We can't get sandwiched. This is our boat. And we got ourselves a ship brawl. The archer boat's coming, but it's taking forever. It's basically us. We got our fast axe and we got our damaging axe. It's a great combo. We're out of throwing axes, but I think we can reload, right? We got the reloading barrel on here. There's a dude trying to climb up the rope over there. It's fucking great, man. This is fucking sick. Here we go, right? Now we got more throwing axes. We can support from a distance, and it's good support because now we're... Oh, you little fucker. There's a little sniping crossbow ducking down beneath the railing, and he's drilling me. You the fucker. We're getting sandwiched, but we're... Oh, shit. We're smoking our own guys. You're dead! And his throwing axes hit so hard now that they get ragdolled. Their units go flying. It's great. Shit. These little sharpshooters. Their archers are using the boat really well. They're like ducking beneath the rails. But we just raked. We're killing more of our friendlies. Shit. Alright, let's get out the regular axe. We're killing a lot of our own troops. I don't need to be that good at killing our own troops. Here we go. We got some crossbow to cut apart. Shit. I better get a reduction damage banner for shipboard battles. It's nice to move fast, but, well, I spoke too soon. I could take over somebody here. Whoops. Shit, I should have chosen somebody different. We're like hundreds of yards away from the action. There. We need to get going. Where do we board? There should be a helm. I can get this thing out of here. You get on the helm and you hit the X button. And what that does is basically tells your dudes, cut the ropes. They're already doing it. Good. I hear the ropes being cut. Get over there. We need to hurry up. $69.3. It's hard to tell in shipboard battles like this what you're looking at. Now, we got the wind in our favor, so we're going to be able to catch up quick. 27.3. 13. We got this shit. The proverbial deep breath. For those wondering, too, I try not to glance at the power bar. It's in human nature. Sometimes I do anyways. Generally speaking, in battles like this that we're close, you can obviously tell now this battle is over. I try not to ruin your suspense, right? Some guys love it. They said they ride on the edge of their seat for a good battle like this. I like that, right? You guys are riding along with me. And I try not to look at the power bar. Now, of course, you don't see the power bar at all in this battle, and that's because with a little after editing, I can simply remove it. But this battle is over, and what a beautiful battle. Now, it highlights a few things. Let me talk about a few things here, because we're trudging our way to the action here. I don't know why the battle's not over. We got 159 survivors. That's pretty damn good under the circumstances. A couple things to notice. They only had 530 troops in this battle, and we only had like 400 something. Even if you have it, 1,200 troops in a battle on the ocean, you don't get all those units in the sea. At least not with the way that the current system is designed. I think it's designed for people who are running consoles and sort of normal systems. They're not anticipating 3,800 versus 2,600, and it is going to be a buzzkill on the huge shipboard battles. Basically, they're beating on somebody. I wonder if they're stuck. No, I see. There's a guy getting his shield beat on. You guys can't kill him? It looks like there's one banner knight holding out. They just cut him down. All right, so let me finish that point. There's no reinforcements for ships, and I do hope they change this down the road. You should just get more ships, roll onto the ocean. Maybe they can code that in. Maybe we'll have to wait for modders. But this is the whole battle. Even though it was, what, 1,200 against our 600? This is it. So presumably all the other forces are just considered captured, and we ride off into the sunset. And a pretty glorious battle it was, nevertheless. I don't want to make it sound like I'm complaining. But there are limitations to the sea battles. And perhaps they'll be adjusted either by Tail Worlds. Here, we'll just ask. Tail Worlds, put some reinforcements in there. All you got to do is, once there are 4 dead boats, in other words, the 4 boats where all the crews are dead, have those boats sort of inconspicuously drift off and be unboardable, because they have UI issues. You can't have 12 units on the field, right? You can't command 12 units. So we get some beautiful armor here. I'm ecstatic. But just to finish that point, have those boats drift off. They're not usable, or have them sink or whatever, something cinematic, and then have reinforcements come in, 4 boats at a time. That way we can have an extended naval battle that lasts like 45 minutes an hour. Some naval battles would last 12 to 24 hours. So hopefully they're listening to us here. And we've got a gnarly siege lined up here, and I'm not leaving. We don't give a fuck, right? Glaron Heavyhand is going to put the pedal to the metal now, and we're feeling our oats here a little bit, right? This is probably, it's not suicidal, but it's very audacious. Now, we do have a wall down, so here's what we're going to do, friends. We're going to continue this campaign, but what I'm going to do in between is just break these episodes into 2 parts. Let's see, it's going to be a long episode, actually. That last sea battle with the castle siege, the previous episode, and the next episode is going to be siege assault of a city, and it's almost exactly what I called for. Outnumbered 2 to 1. It's almost numerically perfect. We're 1 unit off. It's going to be a brawl, and we've got some injured. I might wait 1 more day, and we can siege down both walls, but that siege is coming up, right? We're going to have that. More from this campaign is coming, right? Glaron Heavyhand. You guys want to stay tuned for the legend, right? You guys can say, I was there when the legend became the legend, right? This guy's going to become an absolute Nord god of Bannerlord. You guys can help me in the comments, steer him in that direction, and hopefully, of course, I can help any players that are benefiting from our episodes. So whether you're here for entertainment, education, or to learn new profane words, I've got you covered, fellas. All right, all the normal things here at the end. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more. My Venmo's on there in case you want to send me thousands of dollars. Hit that hype button, like button on the way out. And I will see you friends next time.